Alright, so we're trying something new. This is a reflection video for Kaguya-Sama Love is War, volumes 26 through 28, the final 3 volumes that I did not read. So, before I get started on this, I want to provide some context. You can read pretty much all the chapters. I'm pretty sure you can read all the chapters on the Shonen Jump app. It's like a $3 subscription for a month, and you can basically read all the chapters in 1 month and then cancel the subscription. It's great. But I stopped reading Kaguya Love is War after volume 25 because that's when, and this is a spoiler video, so get out now, right? But I stopped reading after volume 25, which is when Miyuki Shirogane saves Kaguya on the helicopter, and they just fly off basically into the sunset, right? Into the night. And I'm like, that's the real emotional ending. I'm done, right? And the manga basically admits that it's kind of done too, right? Because, like, in volume 26, I believe there's a point where they go like, okay, we've resolved all the story beats, we acknowledge that, right? This is where we were supposed to close the curtains. But wait, we haven't really resolved every story beat yet, right? There's a lot, these characters are interesting, there's a lot of side characters, there's a lot of plot points that have not been finalized, but the main thrust of the story, which is the main pairing of Kaguya and Miyuki, is settled, right? They're married. I'm not married. They're a couple. It's established. There's no problems. We're good, right? But, the manga, in my opinion, another reason I stopped reading was because I thought the art quality had been going down, right? Ever since they were finishing, I'm like, oh man, he's phoning it in. They already got Oshino Ko, which is the next popular manga that the artist did. I'm like, they're done, right? So whatever. I stopped reading. Man, I regret that because the last 3 volumes are so damn funny. It's so good. Oh my gosh, not literally cried, but there are points in the manga where I'm just dying of laughter, and there's other parts where I want to throw the book at a wall, right? So let's get into some highlights, right? There's 2 story beats in my mind. Actually, there's a couple of story beats I've written down here, but the first one I'm going to talk about, the one that just made me burst out laughing, right, is when Miyuki is going off to America. And before he goes off to America, he goes on the roof and he has these heart-to-heart moments with each of the members. And normally that's a pretty good setup for a story already, right? But Kaguya Love is War is so unique in that they don't take the traditional route with any of their story beats, I think, right? They always have to add some intellectual twist on it that makes it ridiculous or stupid or wildly hilarious. And what's wildly hilarious about this one is that it's from the perspective of Kaguya, who is very annoyed that everybody is getting this time with Shirogane except her, right? That they keep interrupting. Like Ishikawa's, I think Ishikawa's the first one who gets to talk to Shirogane, and Kaguya is just like, oh my god, would you just shut up with the trauma already? Please stop emotionally blabbing and get out of the way. I'm trying to talk to my boyfriend, right? And I'm like, that's such a stupid beat, and I love it. I love that story beat. And then they do a recurring joke where now each person who comes in starts with, hey, by this hour tomorrow, you're going to be on a plane to America. And I'm like, it's funny the second time with Miko, and then it's even stupider and funnier the third time with Chika, who says it as soon as she comes to the door, and she doesn't even have anything important to say, right? And I'm glad the author doesn't drag that joke out too long. It doesn't overstay its welcome. Chika is irreverent. She doesn't have serious thoughts. Even when she's trying to be serious, she's the butt of a joke, right? So I'm glad that when Chika shows up, it's chapter's over, we're good. But it's so funny. Okay, another beat that I want to talk about. The fact that Kaguya and Shirogane have a long-distance relationship, but then you have to remember, oh crap, Kaguya's rich. She's rich, and so she can just fly to San Francisco, crying the entire way flying over there, because, oh yeah, she can just visit Shirogane on weekends. And there's I guess Skype or whatever, or not Skype. Who uses Skype? They're probably using Discord or somewhat, whatever, right? But they can just do that. I mean, it's ridiculous to have your 2 a.m. have this relationship go on at 2 a.m. Like, I've never... Okay, look. Another thing that I really appreciate this manga, this is sort of a side tangent, is the fact that these characters, like, the thing about manga I like in general, honestly, is that these characters stay friends after high school. Their relationship is tight enough where it totally makes sense that Shirogane would want to stay up until 2 a.m. so he can have these dumb narrative points with his former council members and still act like nothing has changed, right? It's just Shirogane's face is super big and is on the big flat screen on the wall now, and it's exactly the same, guys. It's just he's still there. It's just now he's bigger. And when they go like, can we like scale his face down or something? This is too much. And then Kaguya's like, no, because then his face would be smaller. And I'm like, that's a good joke. That's a good joke. I appreciate that joke. But yeah, no. I really do like how the relationships in this manga were written. The fact that these characters just are so... They've gone through a lot. They're all deeply flawed in very ridiculous ways. And it's really compelling, these characters, right? Which leads me to like the last two plot points I'm going to talk about for this video, because I really want to rant about Kaguya Love is War, right? The first one is that the manga and the anime have a habit of, I mean, like, there's no easy way to say this. Kei Shirogane, Shirogane's sister, and Hayasaka, are, in my opinion, the two cutest female characters in the show, right? They are just, they're so cute, and hot. And I would apply that more to Ai's case than to Kei. Anyway, focus. The point being is that they've both, one, Kei doesn't have a plot beat. She's just the rebellious teenager phase, and that's literally the rest of her character development, and I'm kind of sad about that. And then Hayasaka's character development has, her story beat's already been resolved, is what I'm trying to say. The fact that she has already broken away from being under the Shinomiya family's thumb, and now she can be free, and now she can go explore the world and whatever, right? Like, that's just an extension of her happily ever after, right? She's already done. So there's no romantic plot beats. She's never, like, formally expressed being in love. She's not formally in love with Miyuki or anything like that. It's just, it's like she's done, right? And so there's not really anything that happens in the final volumes to either of those two characters. And I get it. It perfectly makes sense. You have to at least acknowledge them for one chapter because they're such fan favorites. But, like, nothing happens to them. And that makes me sad because I like them a lot. I think that the final volumes do a great job, but, like, I do like those characters, and I'm sad we don't get more of them. Chika has a running joke with the 4 ramen kings, and there's not much to say about it except it's deeply hilarious. And the final joke of that volume is that she doesn't even really care about ramen. If she had a last meal in her life, it would be sushi or barbecue, and that is a stupid joke, and I love it. And then the final plot beat I'm going to talk about for this video is the Maki, Tsubasa, and Nagisa, the love triangle that was happening, right? Where there's a side character, Nagisa and Tsubasa, and they're so lovey-dovey, like, clearly to, like, suspicious levels. They're high schoolers, and high schoolers do that nowadays, so I don't actually think it's that bad. But, you know, for a manga, it's treated as, like, scandalous that these two would, oh, they've done it, all right, they definitely do it. But, you know, we forget about that for a moment, and we quickly advance the plot to, okay, now Tsubasa knows that Maki has had a crush on, I might be mixing up the names, honestly. Is Nagisa the girl or the guy? Anyway, point is, the girl realizes Maki's had a crush on the guy this whole time, and it turns out that she has always admired Maki as basically the Kaguya of her world, the smart, pretty, ultra mature friend in her life, and so she breaks up with him. And, like, the exact beats that happen between the two aren't that interesting emotionally. Like, I'm glad that Maki's maturing as a character. What's stupid and hilarious that I love and died and wanted to throw the book at the wall was the fact that they're pregnant. I mean, that the girl is pregnant. It's like, obviously she was going to be pregnant, but I didn't see it coming, and I'm like, dang it. You stupid mother. Like, they had to do it. I mean, clearly they were banging, but frick me, man. Did not see that coming, and I thought it was hilarious. Anyway, that's all the plot beats I wanted to talk about for the volumes. So, overall conclusion was that I liked it. I don't think that was a surprise, considering I've talked about it straight for 10 minutes, almost 11, in secret in the back of wherever this is. I won't tell you where I am. But I really enjoyed it, and I really wanted to get all these thoughts out, put it out somewhere, share it, I don't know. Thanks for watching, and yeah, it was fun for me. This is mostly a me thing. That's why this is going on YouTube, but in portrait orientation, because that was the easiest way to record it. That's the viewership experience. Goodbye.